Hi, my name is JoAnn and this is Artistry Collaborative. Welcome. Today we are going to take this Dollar Tree wreath. They call it a wood blend wreath, but a lot of times they'll call it willow. And we're going to turn it into this fabulous crescent wreath wall hanging. Now, um, you can use it as I did it, or there's 100 ways you could use this. You could put a word across, welcome. You can hang it on your door, hang it on your wall, give it as a gift. It's easy. Easy, easy, easy. I know I say easy a lot, but I'm telling you, this is easy. So come along and just try. Well, like most things in the filming world, some takes take and some takes don't. So I'm just doing this for you because the last one was just way too close. But I painted, spray painted it white. This one is just, it's natural. You can leave it natural. You can paint it whatever color you want. But all you do is you go in and you just cut. I'm cutting on an angle because we want to make the crescent shape. As you can tell, it is not that hard to cut. Yeah, that didn't work so well. But don't use good scissors on this because you will definitely ruin them. Okay, and then I'm just going to do the same about here. Okay, so there's that. And again, that's why we're going to tie it up, because you can see it'll start to unwind. So you don't want that to happen. But we're going to cut it right about there. All right. I'm going to take some twine, and I'm just going to tie a knot around here. And I'm just going to wrap it around all the way to the end and back again. And then I'm just going to put a dab of hot glue. Be good if you, this glue gun, for some reason, when it gets down to the little bit, it melts it, and I lose the last quarter-inch of my collect. But again, I'm going to tie it on the end. Just make a regular knot. And my knots don't want to work today. And yeah. And then just hold that end and just wrap around it. Go to the end and come back. Put a little bit of hot glue. I think I'm going to put a little bit more. Use my handy rubber finger that I got from the Dollar Tree. I think Dollar Tree should hire me because I use so much of their products. It's crazy. Alright, so there we have our crescent moon. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start to this is just bits and pieces from when I make my fairy gardens. I use tons of flower picks, but I don't necessarily use the leaves because they're just way too big. And so I save everything, and now we're going to put them all over this wreath. And again, you just hot glue inside. And I don't think it has to be any one kind of wreath. I mean, any one kind of leaf. It can be a mixture. We're going to put some moss, and then we're going to fill it with flowers. Then we're going to have fairy and stars and gems all floating. Very celestial, very fairy and magical. I love fairies. Don't know if you know much about fairies. I actually do fairy card readings, and they're very, they love nature, of course, because they're in nature. They love when you take care of nature, when you take care of animals. They reward you. They love anything that is sparkly, so glitter and stones and all that fun stuff. And they're very fun. They play a lot of pranks. So I always think, you know, when things are missing, or when I know I put something someplace and it's not there, I always think it's my fairies playing around with my head, which is fine. Yeah, I got into that. Well, I started off with angel cards. Love angels. Believe in angels. Believe in everything. I don't think you can eliminate anything when it comes to belief. I think it's all connected one way or another. And I think that the more that we accept and understand the possibility for everything and anything, then I think we'll be a better humanity. I think as soon as you start saying, nope, that doesn't work for me, and it might not work for you, and that's okay, but at least be open to the possibility that someone else might, you know, and if it doesn't infringe on your freedoms, your thoughts, your actions, then let it be. Let it be. Just like the Beatles said, there's no no foul, no harm. Alright, so this is getting pretty full. I'm going to finish this up, and then we're going to come back and we're going to start to put some flowers. Okay. So, as you can see, I have a variety of different flowers. So, I'm starting off with the biggest things that I have, and then I will fill in from there. So this I'm going to put center stage here. I want to make sure it really grabs onto something. And then I'm going to put in these rosebuds, and then we're going to use all the filler that we have. And go from there. So, a lot of this is from the Dollar Tree flowers, but a lot of it is also from clearance, like Michael's right now has Michael's and JoAnn has a huge clearance with their spring and summer flowers because they need to make room for their fall. So now is a great time to go and get flowers. I don't like a lot of the Dollar Tree flowers, but this is a Dollar Tree flower. This, I believe, is a Dollar Tree flower. This is a Dollar Tree flower. So the small stuff, the filler stuff, I think is great. And you cannot go wrong for a buck. So I highly recommend checking that out. But, you know, keep an eye on for sales. Sales are your friend. It's funny, my daughter said that she thinks that I should do a Dollar Tree haul and say, oh, with this you can do. But I kind of feel that I do that anyway, not that I do a haul. It's amazing how many followers these people who do hauls at the Dollar Tree that they get. It's so frustrating because I'm in Rhode Island and you know they have this stuff and they're in Wisconsin or Idaho or Georgia, and what they get and what we get are similar, but I don't, the timing of when they get it and when we get it is very, very different. Very different. So it can be frustrating, and my sister just makes lists and lists and she checks once a week. But I think if you go once a week, you may miss it. I think you have to do it more often than that. I think people make a living out of doing nothing but going to the Dollar Tree. I can't do that, but I do go frequently. They have lots of great stuff. So Dollar Tree is not paying me to endorse them by any stretch of the imagination, but for the value, and their stuff just gets better and better, and now they have a whole craft section, which is absolutely amazing. It's getting, I can't even believe what they are selling for $1 because it's a lot more money at Michael's or JoAnn's. And things are changing. I mean, they closed AC Moore, which was one of my favorite stores to go to, and now I noticed, I went to Michael's the other day, and you were able to use coupons from one store to the other. Now they're not doing that anymore. So they're really clamping down, and they used to have 50 and 60% coupons, and I don't see those very often anymore either. And that's when I used to get my big stuff at 60% off because it's such a great deal. But, you know, times are a-changing, that's for sure. So, and even this, it doesn't look like much, but in here, mixed in with all these yummy goodies, it will look fabulous. And I have some of these, like pine cook, well, I actually have pine cones, but I actually have these, they look like, I don't know, they look like pine cones, but it's more like a tumbleweed or type thing. And when you're gluing, make sure you really get it attached to the wreath itself, because it will come apart. It will definitely come apart if you don't have it securely glued in there. Alright, so I'm going to go and continue putting stuff in here. You want some things to hang out, so like I'm going to cut this and have it sticking out, different bits and pieces. So play, and I will be back. Okay, so this is the wreath finished, and what I did is I found this, they have something similar at the Dollar Tree. This is left over from a Christmas clearance, but on the back I attached 3 strips. This one I'm just going to leave like that. This one, I was looking through my jewelry stash and I found this gem that I thought went really pretty. So I don't want to glue that, so I found a piece of wire. And what I'm going to do is hook this wire into this wire and then just wrap it around here. And then that will hang like so. I think I'll make that a little bit tighter. And then this will be where the fairy hangs. So I'm going to now work on the fairy. It's not completely dry, but dry enough. And so what I'm going to do, now I will say that this was, not that it was difficult, I hate to call it difficult, but I want to get you up close here so you can see. Okay, I wouldn't say that this is difficult using this glitterific folk art paint, but it might be easier if you put your glue in and used a glitter to a multicolored glitter. This way here it would get in the spaces better, because the wings, some of the background shows and then some of it does not. So we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, I am going to emboss the wings with silver. So I have this Emboss It pen by Ranger, and what you do is, this is black, I don't know why it's black, but that's okay because we're going to do them silver. So let's see, that might work well. They also have it in white. It's very strange that it's black. But anyway, so you put this on here like that. I'm going to do one wing at a time because I don't want the embossing glue to dry before I get to the other wings. And then you take your tray and your embossing glitter and you put that on there real good. Alright, and then you go and you do the rest of them. So we'll do this. And again, I will leave all the information of what I got in the bottom below. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them and I will answer them promptly, I hope. Okay, so we've got all of this done. And now we're going to take the heat gun. I don't know if you're close enough to see, but once it gets really hot, oh, it's already starting to change. It just glistens. It is so cool. Now the thing of it is, you got to be careful with the other paint, the glitter paint, because it may melt that as well. So, okay. Perfect. And now we are going to work on the fairy. And I am going to find some kind of glitter. So this is it complete. I added a few more strands on the bottom. My daughter said she didn't even think it needed the strands, so that's totally up to you. But I hope you like this. We will, I'll come in closer so you can see the detail on the fairy.